Hello and welcome to another breakout session. This is breakout session number 48, and I'm calling this one Express Yourself. Before we get started, I'd like to say hi to all the members of the Guitar League out there around the country that might be watching today. And as usual, I ask everybody, if they haven't, if they would please subscribe to my channel. Hit the little bell, we'll notify you when something comes up, and we have a lot of content on this channel. We have the breakout sessions, we have guitar repairs, we have quick tips, we have learn a new song in 4 minutes. There's a lot of stuff. There's something for everybody on this channel, from beginners to advanced. So please subscribe and hit the little like button if you would. Get started. I'm calling this Express Yourself. This is probably for the guitar player that is beginner to intermediate. And the beginner wants to be intermediate. You're right on the cusp, and you're looking for something to take you to the next level. I'm hoping this might be it. So you've learned all the chords, the bar chords, the triads, you've learned all that. And you've learned scales, major scales, minor scales, pentatonic scales. But now you still don't know exactly what to do with them. So that's why I'm calling this Express Yourself. That's what you're going to do with them. Okay, so we spent a lot of time on the A scale, A minor scale, A major scale, C scale, which would be, C scale would be the same as the A minor scale. So let's stick around there, you know, let's stick in the key of A, like A minor, okay? But let's just take 5 notes from all those scales. And by the way, I'll have in the description, I will have the A minor pentatonic with all the shapes and everything that you've learned. But the one we're going to deal with today, we called it the House of Blues. It's like position 2 of the A minor pentatonic. There's 5 notes here. We're starting on the 9th fret on the G string, and the 8th fret on the B string, the 10th fret on the B string, the 8th fret on the E string, and the 10th fret on the E string. And the root of this little scale is the A note, is the 10th fret B note, B string. So you've learned all the scales, you've been running up and down scales, and it just doesn't sound right. So now you need to express yourself. You know, people talk about guitar players, he makes it sing, his guitar. Well, that's what you're trying to accomplish. You're trying to kind of be like a voice, okay? So just playing a note isn't necessarily going to do that. So there's all kinds of different techniques, okay? From you can slide. You can slide up to any one of those notes from probably the note below it. Maybe even further down, but let's just stick with that. So there's slides. There's hammer-ons. And that's where you play a note, and then you hammer on, let's say 2 frets higher on the same string, and make it sound like you picked it. So you're picking it now, and then you're hammering on. Okay, that takes some practice. There's a million videos out there on each one of these techniques that I'm going to talk about, so you can really get into the weeds on them. But I'm just saying, here's the things that can help you express yourself. So we got slides, we got hammer-ons, we got pull-offs. So that's where you're like kind of hammering on, and then you're pulling off of the string. Gives you a different sound. Okay, so hammer-ons and pull-offs. Then you have bends. Okay, in this case, with these 5 notes, one that is very bendable is this D note on the E string 10th fret. So you line up your 3 fingers and you want to bend it up to the next note. So you're bending the D to E, which is the same note as that. So we're still using 5 notes, different octaves of them. So bending up to the next tone, or even a half a bend, gives it a different sound. Or a pre-bend where you bent up and you're letting it down. And then there's vibrato. And again, there's a million videos on how to do this, okay? But the main thing is, you want to try to learn how to do it with all your fingers if you can. Pinky's always hard. But you're trying to make the guitar sound like a voice. So the next thing, you're gonna practice all these different things. And then you're gonna, rather than just run through scales, you want to make phrases, which is like maybe just a little 3-note pattern, and maybe repeat it. And then maybe change it a little. Just like that, just a phrase. Because this whole thing is kind of like a call and response. So let's say a chord, let's say A minor, is the call, and that's a response. D minor, A minor, D minor, D minor, A minor, E, D minor, A minor. So there's a call and response, and you're just doing little phrases, you're leaving space. You're probably not coming in on beat 1, you might want to come in on beat 2 for the phrasing of this. So this can take you to the next level, okay? If you start practicing hammer-ons, pull-offs, bends, pre-bends, vibrato, slides, that's kind of a double stop slide, 2 notes at the same time from this little pattern. And so all you need is those 5 notes, so you can play a whole blues solo with just that and some feeling, expressing yourself. So that's what the point I'm trying to get across today. And my last point, by the way, we have breakout session number 44. We have this little House of Blues box down here, which also showed you where the major thirds are of it. But that's the little box. That's what we're talking about here. And we're playing maybe an A minor blues. It wouldn't matter. You could play an A major blues and play these same notes over them if you had feeling and could express yourself. So then the next thing I want to end this on is, I preach this all the time, but if you're trying to get from beginning to intermediate, one way to propel yourself there quickly is to learn all the notes on the fretboard. I'm going to include again all the notes on a fretboard on a chart for you so you can start practicing that. But then you can take this and move it to any other key when you know where the notes are. In this case, the 10th fret B note is kind of the root of this. If we were going to go to G, we would do the same box in the G note on the 8th fret would be the root note. And then you could move it to G, and you could move it to F if you knew where F was. Okay, so that's why I want you to learn the notes on the fretboard. And why you want to learn all the notes and not just on a couple of strings is because the root of the scale or the root of the chord that you're looking for may not be on just the E string and the A string. Like for instance, we're now talking about having the root to the scale that we're working with here on this B string. So you need to know the notes on that string. And so if you were playing a G chord or an A chord, now the root is on the top string. But if you were playing a D chord, now the root's on the 5th string. Okay, so the root to the scales and chords moves around, so you need to know where the notes are. So I don't want to belabor this. This is supposed to be a short one today, but it's about expressing yourself. It's like now that you know the scales, just take 5 notes out of a pentatonic scale, or take a pentatonic scale, like the one I showed you, and just work on the different techniques and see if you can't make it sound more musical and make it sound like a voice. You could even hum along to something that you want to, and then try to repeat that with the strings. Okay, so give it a try. We're trying to get you from beginning to intermediate in just one lesson. But I got a lot of lessons. Go way back to breakout session number 1, and you can learn some theory, and you can keep going, how to play chords and triads and scales. We got all kinds of stuff on here. So remember to subscribe. And we're going to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.